everyone. Today we'll discuss about the pubis part, acetabulum and the obturator foramen of the hip bone. Now as you can see, this is the hip bone and over here this part is the pubis part of the hip bone. Over here as you can see, this pink structure over here is the pubis part of the hip bone. Now this pubis part of the hip bone forms the anteroinferior part of the hip bone and the anterior 1/5 part of the acetabulum. Okay, and forms the anterior boundary of the obturator foramen. This is the obturator foramen. So it forms the anterior boundary of the obturator foramen. This is the anterior part and this is the posterior border. That is the anterior border and the posterior border. So it forms the anterior border of this obturator foramen. Now the pubis bone has basically three main parts. That is the body. This is the body over here. And this body divides into two ramus. That is the superior ramus superolaterally and the inferior ramus infralaterally, as you can see. Pubis, body of the pubis, superolaterally superior ramus and infralaterally inferior ramus. Now first of all, the body of the pubis. Now body of the pubis is flattened from before backward and has basically over here, as you can see, this is the pubic crest over here. This at the anterior part, this is the pubic crest. Okay. Now over here, just lateral to the pubic crest, we are having the pubic tubercle. At the lateral end of the pubic crest, this is the pubic tubercle. The body of the pubis has three main surfaces, that is the anterior, posterior and the medial surface. The first of the anterior surface, this is the anterior surface. Now the anterior surface is directed downwards, forwards and slightly laterally and it is rough supromedially and smooth elsewhere. Now the posterior, or we can see the pelvic surface. Now over here, just look at this diagram. This is the posterior or the pelvic surface of the body of the pubis bone. And as you can see, this is basically present on the inner side of this particular hip bone or the inner view. Okay, now it is directed upward and backward and it forms the anterior wall of the true pelvis and is basically related to the urinary bladder. Now the medial or the symphyseal surface, as the name says symphyseal surface, of course it will form the pubic symphysis with the other bone of the other hip bone, right? Now as you can see in this diagram, over here this is the medial surface and the medial surface actually forms the pubic symphysis with the other, or we can say the right hip bone. Now next part is the superior ramus. This is the superior ramus. Now this superior ramus is basically present above this obturator foramen and extends from the body of the pubis to the acetabulum. Now it has basically three borders and three surfaces. Now first of the borders, it has basically, this is the superior border. This is the superior border. Over here as you can see, this over here, this is the superior border. The superior border is called the pectineal line or the pecten pubis, as you can see, and it is comparatively sharp. Okay, and it is a sharp crest extending from just behind the pubic tubercle. This is the pubic tubercle over here. Okay, over here this is the medial is the pubic crest and then lateral to the pubic crest we are having the pubic tubercle. So and lateral to the pubic tubercle is the pecten pubis. So the pecten pubis basically extends from the pubic tubercle to the iliopubic eminence. This is the iliopubic eminence. Now with the pubic crest, it forms the pubic part of the arcuate line. Now next is the anterior border. Over here the anterior border is basically visible from the lateral view. Okay, so this is the anterior border. This border is the anterior border of the superior ramus. Now the anterior border is called the obturator crest. And the border is a rounded ridge-like and extends from the pubic tubercle up to the acetabular notch. Over here, this part as you can see, this small part is the acetabular notch. So the obturator crest actually extends from the pubic tubercle to the acetabular notch. Now next is the inferior border. Now over here as you can see, this is the inferior border. Now this inferior border of the superior ramus actually forms the superior border of this obturator foramen. So this inferior border forms the upper margin of the obturator foramen. Now next are the surfaces of the superior ramus. There are basically three surfaces of the superior ramus, that is the pectineal surface, pelvic surface and the obturator surface. Now first for the pectineal surface. This is the pectineal surface, triangular structure between the anterior, or we can say the obturator crest, anterior border or the obturator crest, and the superior border of the superior ramus. So between the superior border, superior ramus and the obturator crest or the anterior border, this pectineal surface is present and it is a triangular area between these two borders, extends from the pubic tubercle up to the iliopubic eminence. Now next is the pelvic surface. Of course the pelvic means up to the inner side, means near the pelvis, right? Near the pelvic structures. So this on the inner side, this is the pelvic surface. Now this basically lies between the, of course, superior and the inferior border of the superior ramus. and it is a smooth and continuous with the pelvic surface of the body of the pubis. Now the obturator surface is basically present between the anterior border of the superior ramus and the inferior border of the superior ramus. Now next part is the inferior ramus. This is the inferior ramus of the pubis bone. Now inferior ramus extends from the body of the pubis, of course, to the ramus of the ischium medial to the obturator foramen. Now over here it is not distinguishable, but as you can see over here, this part, this is the inferior ramus. Okay, so it over here, this is the inferior ramus. This and this is the inferior ramus. So over here, this actually this inferior ramus basically extends from the body of the pubis up to the ischium. This ischium is over here. This blue part is the ischium. So this inferior ramus basically extends up till this ramus of the ischium. This is the ramus of the ischium. Okay, medial to the obturator foramen. Okay, and it unites with the ramus of the ischium to form the conjoined ischiopubic rami. Now attachment at the pubis part of the hip bone. Now as you can see, this is the pubic tubercle, and over here this part actually give attachment to the medial end of the inguinal ligament and also to the ascending loop of the cremaster muscles. Okay, now this is a pubic crest. Now the medial part of this pubic crest, over here the medial part of the crest is crossed by the medial head of the rectus abdominis muscle, and the lateral part of this pubic crest gives origin to the lateral head of rectus abdominis and to the pyramidalis muscle. Now this, the anterior surface of the body of the pubis bone give attachment to the anterior pubic ligament medially. Then the four main muscles, that is the adductor longus, adductor brevis, gracilis and the obturator externus. The obturator externus is basically present near the margin of the obturator foramen. Now the posterior or the pelvic surface of the body of the pubis bone provides attachment to mainly three structures. That is, in the middle part there will be attachment on the origin of the levator ani muscle. Now lateral to this levator ani there will be origin of the obturator internus muscle, and medial to the levator ani there will be attachment of the puboprosthetic ligament in the male or pubovesical ligament in the female. Now this pectineal line of the pectineal pubis give origin to mainly two muscles, that is a conjoint tendon and the pectineus muscle, while it give insertion to psoas minor muscle. And over here there are two ligaments also, that is a lacunar ligament and the pectineal ligament of Cooper. Now remember, the pelvic surface is actually crossed by the round ligament of the uterus in the female and by the ductus deferens in the male. Now also remember, in the obturator groove, that is over here, as you can see, this is the anterior border and this is the inferior border of the superior ramus, and in between these two borders we are having the obturator surface, having the obturator groove. Now this obturator groove basically transmits the obturator vessels and the nerves. Now as you can see, this is the acetabulum. Okay, the acetabulum is basically present on the lateral part of this particular hip bone, right, which actually articulates with the head of the femur, forming the hip joint. Now this acetabulum is actually a deep cup-shaped hemispherical cavity on the lateral aspect of the hip bone about its center, and is directed laterally downwards and forwards. Now as you can see that the acetabulum has margin in its sides and on the superior part, right? On the side and superior part, the acetabulum has the margin, but on the inferior part, the margin is deficient. So this deficiency is known as the acetabular notch, and this is actually bridged by the transverse ligament. Now over here there is a non-articular roughened floor of the acetabulum known as the acetabular fossa, and this fossa basically contains a mass of the fat which is lined by the synovial membrane. Now the horseshoe shaped structure, okay, this is the acetabular fossa, and around this acetabular fossa we have, as you can see, this horseshoe shaped structure, articular structure, okay, or it is known as the lunate surface, is seen on the anterior, as you can see, anterior, superior and the posterior part of the acetabulum, and it is lined with the hyaline cartilage and articulates with the head of the femur to form the hip joint. Now in order to make this acetabulum much deeper, so that the head of the femur gets perfectly fit into it and doesn't comes out, this fibrocartilaginous acetabular labrum is attached at the margin of this particular acetabulum, which actually deepens the acetabulum so that the head of the femur doesn't comes out easily. Now the obturator foramen, this is the obturator foramen, the large gap in the hip bone present between the pubis bone and the ischium and anteroinferior to the acetabulum. Now also remember, the obturator foramen is actually large and oval in the males and triangular and smaller in the female. So in the male it is larger and oval, and in the female it is triangular and smaller. Now remember, this obturator foramen is not open, okay, it is closed by the obturator membrane which is attached to its margin, and it is not present at the obturator groove. Remember, the obturator member is not present at the obturator groove because from the obturator groove only the obturator vessels and the nerve passes out of the pelvis. So this was all about the pubis, acetabulum and the obturator foramen of the hip bone. We'll discuss about the ischium in the further next videos. I hope you understood it well. Thank you so much.